This is Alfa Romeo's new entry model, the Alfa Romeo Junior. It's the cheapest model you can get now. And first things first, yep, look at that design. It's definitely very stylish, sophisticated headlights, and look at that intricate badge on the grille. You've even got a pretty aggressive spoiler lower down. It's based on the Stellantis common modular platform, like the Peugeot 2008 and the Jeep Avenger. In Australia you can get it in two forms, hybrid and full electric. This is the hybrid. And yes, it does come with a pretty basic torsion beam rear suspension setup, but this is very light, so it doesn't tend to matter so much. You've also got 151mm of ground clearance, which should be enough for some mild dirt roads. The hybrid comes with these 18-inch black alloy wheels, in a traditional circular pattern, wearing 215/55 Goodyear tyres front and back. And then check out the interior, very stylish, modern, with heaps of attention to detail. Although the door cards are predominantly made of hard, scratchy plastic, which doesn't do well to justify the price tag. But you've got plenty of features, storage, and good amount of technology. There are some physical buttons as well, which is good to see for a brand new model. Front passengers are treated to these sports seats with red trimming down the middle, and power adjustment, at least for the driver. You've also got a sports steering wheel, and a nice hunkered down driving position. In the back, yeah, it is pretty cramped, but this is a small SUV, or a compact SUV even, so you're not going to get much more in many of the rivals. The main concern is for the middle seat passenger. The center console really sticks out, and there's a big transmission tunnel, but it does come with a USB port and pockets in the backs of the front seats. There's no center folding armrest or bottle holders in the doors. Right up at the back you've got 415 litres of boot space, which is not bad if you compare it against some rivals in this class, at least on paper. You've got some hooks on the wall and a 12-volt socket, and it's actually a dual level floor, so you've got a bit of versatility there. And then right underneath is a tyre repair kit, and I guess some more storage around the sides. Under the bonnet you've got a 1.2 litre turbo-petrol 3-cylinder mild hybrid. This powerhouse produces 107 kilowatts and 230 newton meters. It's matched to a 6-speed dual-clutch automatic with front-wheel drive. And yeah, check out that fuel economy figure, 4.1 litres per 100 kilometres. So how does it feel out on the road? Well, even though it is just a practical small SUV, you can feel the DNA here. I know everybody says that about Alfa Romeos, but seriously, go for a drive in one and you'll know what I mean. There's just this connection, this sort of animated character about it. I mean, the platform it's a bit crude, it's a bit basic, but I don't mind it, even with the Jeep Avenger that shares the same layout. It's just got this sort of playful and simple character, which is rare these days. Everything has become very heavy, very complex. This is just back to basics motoring. And then with the Alfa Romeo formula sort of layered over the top, you've just got this more direct steering, this sort of more connected handling feel. And actually, if you push it down some nice corners, it grips on surprisingly well. And then out on country roads like this, where there's a lot of patchwork and bumps and so on, the suspension is able to absorb the impacts. There seems to be a fair bit of wheel travel available, or at least for this type of vehicle. So yeah, it's comfortable, pretty relaxing to drive. Visibility is excellent out the front. I've got a nice clear view. It's a bit tighter out the back because of the exterior design. It's got that sporty, tailgate arrangement, but it's not too bad. It is just a small vehicle anyway, so it's quite easy to park. And you've got a surround view camera system as well. And then, probably to your surprise, this engine is actually better than you expect. It's only got a small amount of power, but you put it in dynamic mode, you've got dynamic, neutral, and efficiency. And it's got this energetic little thrum about it. It's not a whining noise, it's got this little bit of bass to it, and it feels more torquey than the figures suggest. It's actually quite fun to drive. You've got paddle shifters as well, so you can play around with the gearbox. Seems pretty responsive, although it does upshift by itself. It won't hit the red line, but you know, this is not a hardcore sports car. Yeah, you might not be able to hear that on camera, but it produces a nice little notey thrum. In terms of efficiency, I'm averaging 6.7 at the moment, but I have done performance testing already. I reckon you could get it down lower than that with more conventional driving, especially in the city and so on, or in the suburbs. Even out on the highway, it seems to cruise fairly well without needing high revs. So on first impressions, yeah, this is surprisingly fun to drive, especially compared with a lot of the rivals out at the moment, which are, let's face it, quite boring. Like, they're practical and all that, but this just takes it up to a different level by being a bit interesting and a bit of character. I love the exterior design. The interior design is quite nice as well. It's just a lot of plastics around the place. It is a fairly cheap vehicle in its home market. It's just in Australia we get marked up a little bit. And there's a decent amount of features like the wireless phone charger, USB ports in the back, and that surround view camera, which is, you know, a little bit rare for this class of vehicle. All right, let's head off now to the performance test and see how it goes.